Hello, planner friends. It's Amber from AmberPlansHerDay. And last week I made this list of school supplies that my kids, Ezra and Amelia, need to go back to school literally on Monday. I think they technically start on like Tuesday or Wednesday, but like Monday is the orientation day. So that's when we bring all of these supplies. So I did go shopping for the supplies and I highlighted everything that needed their name on it. So I have vinyl, and I know I said during the video, should I use vinyl? Should I use a label maker? Should I just use a Sharpie? But you know what? We're going to try vinyl. We're just going to go for it and make it fun for the kids. So I'm going to share everything we need, go through the Cricut process, go through it all, and I just said Cricut. I usually call this a Cricut. It's like a Cricut, I think is what it's called. I almost always say Cricut. And JoJo from JoJo Plants, my best friend, she always like would laugh at me for that. And so as soon as I said Cricut, I heard it too. I heard her laughing. So what I have here is I have the vinyl. I have purple. I may go buy pink for Amelia because purple is Ezra's favorite color and then pink would be Amelia's. So this is removable premium vinyl. I'm not sure it fully matters because there is permanent, there's removable, but I mean, it is like just school supply, so I'm kind of like, meh, does it really matter? I may end up buying permanent, I don't know, but I do have the vinyl, and then I also have transfer tape, and this is to get the vinyl from the actual thing of vinyl to what you want to transfer onto. So I do have a couple samples over here too that I had left over from a different project, so I'll just use those. I'm going to test it out today on this, what is this called? Watercolor set. They both needed a watercolor set, but I want to test out size and everything like that. So I wanted to see first if it works on this one. If it does, then I'll put it on all of their school supplies. I do have a blade or a scraper from the Cricut brand as well, and I'll show you guys what this is used for, but I mean it's literally just for scraping. So, and then I have my iPad, and I will bring you guys to the computer in a little bit as well. But on the iPad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the app Procreate, and the reason that I have this app is because I have the kids' name. Like, I have different fonts that I like from this app that I wanted to use instead of like the Cricut fonts that they just have on their design space. I like having different fonts. So it doesn't matter what color you have here, but you can see like we have different fonts here. Part of me kind of wants to do like an all capital font, but I also feel like this one looks like the most like what my kids may end up writing like and when they're learning to write. So I feel like I might just want to keep it the way that it is. So you guys really just can click the wrench up top, add a font, add text, and type in whatever you wanted to type in. Kind of like zoom in crazy for you guys. So that's literally what it is. Bam, done, just like that. And it doesn't matter what color it is because it will be in the purple. It'll be on vinyl. If I was to print it on sticker paper or something like that, then yes, it would matter what color you do here because then it would be what color you want it to be printed out as. But since it's just going to be this purple vinyl, then it doesn't matter the color. Now, when I'm exporting it, I always make sure that that background color is off. So like if it's on right now and I change the font color to black, you can see that the whole page is white. And then if you turn it off, you can barely see the actual font because now it's all like black. It doesn't have any color to it. So I just click the wrench up here. I click share. I usually save it as a PNG because that's just what I've always done. Save it image. And then I go back to the home screen and I use the Cricut Design Space app. It just says Cricut. See, I'm saying Cricut again. This is the main page here. So, like I said, you could do this on your computer or your iPad. I typically use both for my small business and just like with everything because Procreate, the drawing app, the fonts I use, everything is on Procreate, which is on my iPad. So I'm going to click the add button. Then I'll go to upload down at the bottom over here. Upload and then select from the photo library. And then I'll just come select what I just exported. You know, Cricut tries to have you buy their subscriptions. So you can tell that there's no background on this because it has that checker. If it did have a background, it would just be white or whatever color the background was. And then you just click apply and then we'll just save it. School supplies. And then we're going to upload it. And then I'm going to head over to my computer and I'll screen record everything. So then you guys can see what I do on the actual computer so that we can get it to cut right onto the vinyl. And then I'll show you guys the cutting process. I'll show you guys the rest of it as well. But I typically do start right here on my iPad with Procreate, and then I just upload it from my iPad because it is a little bit easier than having to go to the computer and back and forth. So once I get to my computer, since I will be on the same account, then this upload will already be on my computer, which is great. So I'm gonna bring you guys over there. Now we are on the computer. As you can see, this basically looks just like the iPad did. It has some of the same things that you can buy and whatever. But I usually just click this new project button in the top. On the iPad, it was the middle green circle button, but on the computer it says the new project. So sometimes it takes a bit. It's like really slow sometimes. I don't know if it's my computer or actual Cricut, but then what I'm going to do is go to upload. When I'm here in the upload, we see what I just uploaded from my iPad. Then I do have some like of the custom words that I offer on my website. I have a Patreon exclusive sticker sheet here. I have a name. So just all of my recent uploads is what shows up. But I do want, you know, just the names that I uploaded with my iPad. And then when we put them on the actual canvas here, we see that over here it says basic cut, and that's exactly what we want whenever it is just to be cut with the vinyl. If I wanted it to be like print then cut, that's when you would like print it out on the sticker page or whatever. But here's the thing, like I want them to be the same, about the same size, or at least like the same height. The same height. So what I need to do is separate these so that they're two different like names. So we're going to go to the shapes. This is how I was taught to do it. So then I just upload really any shape. And I'm just going to make sure that Amelia's name is covered up. So you can't even see it. It's underneath this box here. Just made the box white, red. It doesn't matter. And then I make sure that the box is selected and the names. So we can see that Ezra's name is selected. Then I'm going to click this slice button down at the bottom here, and it'll take a couple seconds to load. But what this does is it separates everything, or like it slices from the section. So I could just delete the red box. I can delete the red name because I don't need any of that. I just need both names separated. So now we can see that Amelia's is separate and Ezra's. So I'm going to make them, I think, about a ½ inch tall. I feel like that's a pretty decent size. So Amelia's is almost 3 inches long, which I feel like is not bad for like labeling something. And then Ezra's is almost 2.5. I feel like that's pretty good. So then I'm just gonna attach them so that they stick together wherever they go. But we are going to click on the mat and continue. Now it's going to show us how big of a vinyl space that we need. So that's really it. That's all the space that we need. That's not a lot of vinyl, honestly. That's a very minimal amount. So now it says that my machine is set up on vinyl and it is ready to go. So I'm going to stop this recording and show you the machine and show you guys how to load it and all of those things. But this will stay just like this. It's 100% set up. Okay, so we have the vinyl just on this page. It did say like it was just around the 2-inch mark for the size, and then it goes just over the 3. So really like all of this over here will not be used. But since this is just that scrap piece that I had, I just put it on the mat. This mat is getting ready to go in the trash, but I figured, hey, I'll show you guys before I open up new mats what to do here. So I just put it into the Cricut or the Cricut and I click the blinking button. And easy as that. Just kidding. Then you click the next blinking button. This one is to actually make it go cut. This is going to cut fairly quick because it's only, 4 words, names, and right now it's going for it. So, like I said, this is a fairly easy project. You guys can do this with anything that's like an SVG file, but I usually just do like words or fonts. I did do these in the back. I don't know if you can see this that says rigid mailers. I did all of that with that same purple and I just cut those. So I usually just do words, like that's what's easiest for me and that's kind of what I do the most of. But it's almost done. It's already like 60% done. And this is how easy it is. You can tell this mat is so loved from sticker sheets. Whew, it is about time to make some new ones. You can see like the outline of where it cuts the sticker sheets. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. So if you guys have a Cricut machine, let me know. I'm really curious to see how many people have one of these. And just like that, it's done. So you click the flashing button to unload it. And here is, you can kind of see right there some of those names and how they're cut. So I'm going to take you guys back over to the desk and show you guys how to weed this and get all of those insides out and then put it onto a product. So what I have here is a Sizer brand. Cricut has their own as well. But this is a weeding tool, so it's really sharp at the edge. You gotta be very careful. So I just try to pick it to where the edge will come up, but the white will stay down. So let's just get my weeder out of there. Then just pick it up. Oop, the R wants to come up. So sometimes that happens. Just kind of try to poke it back through. Help it stay down. Stay down, buddy. It could also be the blade. Sometimes if it doesn't like cut all the way through, it could just be the blade of your machine, which I have known that I needed a new one for quite some time now. I've just been a little bit too lazy to actually go for it. Okay. Then the T didn't want to get all the way cut either. But that's why, see, now I know before I go for adding in, like actually doing a real school supply, I know that I need to replace my blade or use one of my different other machines. Vinyl is, like it's a different material than, sticker paper. So sometimes the blades get worn out differently when you're doing vinyl. So these are all the middles of all of the letters. So I'm just trying to get those up. Come on. There we go. And then we are almost done. So all of the insides are out. Everything looks good. The only thing, like I said, with that R that came off and the T that came off, sometimes you just got to use those tweezers and put them back where they go. But it doesn't like affect it really at all. Then this is a transfer tape. So I'm going to try to cut that down to size. Then you just take, sometimes, I mean, you don't have to use your weeding tool, but sometimes it's like so hard to get that off that I like to have the weeding tool so that I can get it off a little bit easier. What you do, you literally just put it right on top of that, kind of like just scrape it. Really make sure that it's on the transfer tape, otherwise it'll get stuck. Then, see, it didn't want to come off already. Really make sure that it's stuck on there. Perfect. So now this does not have any vinyl on it. This is where the vinyl started. It's not on there anymore. Now something else that you can like do is, I mean, if I want these names to be separate, I should have done it before I did this, but it's all right. So now I have the two separate names here. So I'll show you guys like one name up here at like the front of it, and maybe I'll put like one here on the back. Might be a little bit too tall to go on the back. Yeah, I'm not sure it will. We'll just put the other one over here on this side. I know that these, this is a used watercolor set, but like I said, I just wanted to show you guys and try it out before, make sure the sizes looked all good before I actually did the girls' for the school supplies. So that's it. I just rubbed it down with the scraper tool. The E wants to be a stinker. Just gotta make sure that it's nice and stuck on there. Perfect. Okay. Now let's make sure that Ezra's is stuck. And that's it. Now, let me show you guys what this looks like up close. This transfer tape is trash now. Let me show you guys. Let me hold it up high so you guys can kind of see. So that's what it looks like with the vinyl. So Amelia Thorne, Ezra Thorne. I actually feel like that size is pretty perfect. I feel like this would be a great size for like a notebook. Like what else do they have to get labeled? Grab their school supply list out. Their headphones, I do feel like this would be a pretty good size for headphones. They do need their pencil boxes labeled, so that would totally work on their pencil boxes, that size. Even a little bit bigger on their pencil boxes. Their crayons, it might need to be a little bit smaller. I have to double check. The markers, the watercolors. It does say the scissors, so the scissors, I might need to figure out a different way to label those. Or like do it pretty tiny and put it on the blade. I don't know, but this looks really good. And then, what else does it say? The green and blue folder, that size would be perfect. Her composition book, that'd be perfect. The headphones. Yeah, so I feel like this turned out really well. I think that it looks really great with the names on it. And that's really all you do. It's a really fairly easy process, and you can totally cut out 1 to 2 steps if you don't use an iPad. You can just go to the Cricut design space and say add text and use any of the fonts there and do the same cutting process, everything like that. Transfer it and boom, you have a name label for your kids' school supplies, everything like that. So let me know what you guys thought about this tutorial. Was it a little bit easier than you expected to use vinyl? Was it something you guys were like, I would never do that? Or does it seem overwhelming? But yeah, I'm really curious what you guys think. So definitely let me know. And let me know how you guys are labeling your kids' school supplies this year as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Bye, babes.